Good morning. So we'll start feet hip width, knees relaxed, hips in line, shoulders back and down, crown up towards the sky, chin parallel to the ground, one hand on the chest, one just below the ribs. So welcome back to New Zealand and my new place and puss. And this video is dedicated to a very good friend of mine, Trev, who was once upon a time one of my favorite Air Force captains. So he's a massive runner and has a little problem in the lower back and hips. So hopefully these things will work for you. So we'll start with a warm-up. So we'll shake into those left wrists and up to the elbow and up to the shoulder. Onto the right wrist and the elbow and the shoulder. And we'll shake both arms out. And we're coming on to that left ankle, onto the knee, and shaking all the way up to the hip. And onto the right ankle, and the knee, and all the way to the hip. And we'll bring the feet back to hip width apart, toes facing forwards. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms back. Inhale, coming up. So exhale down, inhale up. But remember, nothing should hurt. You only go to a level that feels good for you. You might want to take it carefully, or you might feel like you can really sweep the arms back. We just need a little bit of a warm-up before we start with the stretches. And bring the arms down. So we're going to take the left leg over the right for a stretch down the left side. But if that doesn't feel good, you can just keep the legs together and still get a stretch. We're going to inhale, lengthen up through the left arm. Exhale carefully over to the right. Come back to center. So again, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale over. Maybe a little further if it feels okay. Coming back to center. Inhale and exhale. And keep breathing. Bring the arm down and round. So the other side. So try, if that leg feels okay, to cross or just keep the legs together. Inhale, exhale over. Back to center. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale. Back to center. Inhale. And exhale. Keep breathing. And bring that arm down and around. Alright, so we're going to come on to the calf stretches. So this is ideal after running. These are the only stretches I used to do back in my running days. So we're going to start with the right foot forward and left foot back. So both feet are flat, toes facing forwards. So it's ideal if you can have the hands against a wall or against the back of the sofa or the kitchen countertop. So you just need to move the feet to where you can feel a stretch down your left calf muscle. I'm going to swap to the other side. So left foot forward, right foot back. So we're looking for a stretch down that right calf muscle. So we're getting to the upper part of the calf, which is the gastrocnemius. So that's the bulky part. Remember, you can always adjust the feet, but give it at least about 30 seconds for a good stretch. And then we're going to swap the feet over, and then we're going to get into the soleus, which is the calf muscle which is beneath the gastrocnemius, so it's a little lower down. You feel it just about there, but on the stretching side. So you need to bend that left knee and bring the left heel up, and then sink down until you can feel that good stretch. Remember, we're looking for a deep stretch but not sharp pain. I'm going to swap over. So we're bending the right knee, lift the right heel, sinking down. Alright, now we want to get into the Achilles heel. So we've got the left foot flat, the right toes behind the ankle, and we just lean forwards until you feel that good stretch. You might want to bend the left knee a little bit as well. I'm going to swap to the other side. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit of a hamstring stretch, so you can again regulate it, see what feels best for you. So using a countertop or the back of the sofa, placing the hands on there, and then we're aiming to get the hips above the ankles with the back straight. So you kind of like a 90-degree angle, but you just move so you feel that stretch down the back of the legs, maybe along the back. Again, it should feel good. And then coming on up. So we're going to add a little balance, because I always add my balances. Important to take care of the ankles, building up the proprioceptors. So I'm going to take the right hand to the outside of that left knee, twist at the waist, and then bring the left arm up, so shoulder level, pointing back, and maybe even look to the hand. It's amazing how much easier it is to balance on a flat surface rather than sinking sand. I think the last few that I was just kept sinking into the sand. And going down, so bringing that right leg up, taking the left hand to the outside of the knee, twist at the waist, and then we bring the other arm up and maybe look to the hand. So remember to keep breathing, so just whatever stage you're at. So you may not get to the full pose, and that's all good. And coming down. So we do one more each side. Bring that left knee up, hand to the knee, twist at the waist, bring the arm up, look back to the hand, or wherever you're at. Try and keep lengthened through that standing leg, through the spine, crown up towards the sky. And coming down, doing one more. So bending that right knee, left hand to the knee, twist at the waist, bring the arm up, look back to the hand. And coming down. Alright, we'll do a standing pose, runner's lunge. So right leg forward, left leg back. So that left heel is up, both sets of toes facing forwards. And the front knee is above the ankle. Try and keep the shoulders above the hips. And make sure the lower back feels okay. If this doesn't feel good, then come out of the pose. Or if you can modify it, make it easier. Remember, nothing should hurt. So this is a basic high lunge. Or we can take it lower into the runner's lunge. So we bring the left hand to the ground, twist at the waist, and then bring the right arm up. Maybe even looking up to the hand. So we're aiming to straighten that back leg if we can. Now I'm going to step back into plank position if that's okay for you. Just a little bit of a strength hold, squeezing that belly button in. And then coming up, lifting the bottom as high as we can, walking the feet back towards the hands, and then inhale, bring the arms up, exhale, hands to the chest. And we'll do the other side. So left leg forward, right leg back. So remember, the feet are not one behind the other, so they're at parallel distance. But the back heel is up, front knee bent. So just try and sink down into the pose. You feel a good stretch in that back hip flexor. Now if you want to, we're bringing that right hand down to the ground, twist, bring the left arm up, looking up to the hand. Hold and breathe. Now if we can, we're going to step back into plank position, so trying to keep the back straight, belly button squeezed in, bottom in line with the spine. Any issues, you bring the knees to the ground, but if you're okay, we're going to walk back, lifting the bottom, bring the hands towards the feet, inhale, arms up, exhale, hands to the ground, to the chest. Alright, cat pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So inhale, lift the head, stick the bottom out. Exhale, round up through the shoulders, drop the head down. Inhale, squeezing into that lower back. Exhale, shoulders towards the sky. Inhale, head up, bottom up. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, drop the head. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale, and then carefully sitting back, try not to squash puss, and pose of a child. Then we're going to come back to our hands and knees, and we're going to stretch the right leg out and just see if that feels good on the back. So sometimes we get a little sciatic problem. So the tightness, it's usually the piriformis muscle. It tightens and pinches on that sciatic nerve. So if this relieves it, that might be a problem. If you want to add the balance, you can lift up the opposite arm as well. So working the core a little bit more. Again, just finding what works for you. So on to the other side. So just doing the leg first. So thinking about how it feels in that lower back, stretching along the leg, toes pointing down. Try and have both hips pointing down. See how that feels. And if you want to take the balance a little further, bring the arm out. And making sure we're still breathing. So if that felt good for you, we'll do one more on each side. Or if you'd rather, you can just concentrate on one side where you felt like you needed it most. So if you're doing both sides, left arm up, right leg back. Flexing that foot, toes pointing down, belly button squeezed in. Now bring the hand and knee down, And the other side. So either just the leg or the leg and the arm. And coming down. Now, we're in a little pose of a child. Just stretch out the back. Now I'm going to come up, and if you can, I'm going to sit cross-legged. So Trev, I think this is the one for you. So if you can sit cross-legged, so depending on which leg is in front, I'm going to round down over the opposite knee. So if the left leg's in front, round down over the right knee. But only going as far as you feel a good stretch. So you might not go very far at all. So you feel that stretch in the left hip, maybe in the lower back as well. So don't worry if the body's not low. Just get to the point where you feel a stretch. And then bring the body forwards. So you might just be reaching the hands out with the arms straight, and that's all good. Or we can sink down towards the ground. And then we're going to swap the legs over. You just try and settle into it, because this will be the awkward side. And then sink down to the other knee. And then bring the body forwards. So maybe just reaching the arms out straight or sinking down to the ground. And carefully coming on up. So we're going to do a little deeper hamstring stretch. We're going to have the right leg out straight and then bending the left knee with the left foot into the inner thigh. So seeing how that left hip feels. And all we're going to do is inhale and then exhale, trying to bring the body closer to the thigh. So we're keeping the back straight and the head up. And that might be all you can do. Or you might be able to sink down towards the leg. So you're just regulating your hamstring stretch. So you do not want to push this one. And then carefully come back up onto the other side. So flexing that foot, try and straighten the leg. So we inhale first. And then exhale, just bring the body towards the leg. So it might be a tiny movement and you'll feel a deeper stretch. So try to keep the back straight. Or if you're more flexible, you may be able to bring the body down towards the leg. We do call this the head to knee pose, but do not be discouraged if you're nowhere near that. Every little bit helps. And carefully come back up. So we're going to lie down on our backs and hug the knees into the chest. So this might feel great. If it doesn't, then do not roll. Just try squeezing the knees into the chest. Alright, now just place the fingertips on the kneecaps and circle the knees. So you're kind of massaging the lower back down in the sacrum area. And then go the other way. And hugging the knees, we'll inhale, exhale, bring the head up towards the knees, maybe holding on to the bottom of the feet, squeezing up into a little ball. And then we're going to lengthen along the mat. Now, relaxation time. If you've got an extra few minutes, or if you need to get up, that's all good. So if you're going to relax, try and have the legs apart, feet falling out to the side, arms away from the side of the body, palms turned up towards the ceiling, and just gently close the eyes. And we'll turn the head together in time with the breath. So we'll inhale, exhale, turn the head to the right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, center, exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale, back to center. Tuck the chin down towards the chest, lengthening out the back of the neck. And we'll breathe together in time, in and out through the nose. And breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. So keep the breathing going in your own time. Just let the belly be soft. And just be aware of the belly rising on the in-breath and falling on the out-breath. And we'll go through the body, make sure everything's relaxed. So the toes, the feet, the ankles are relaxed. The calves are relaxed. The knees and thighs are heavy into the mat. Hips and torsos relaxed. The hands, the arms, the shoulders, all relaxed. Head and neck's relaxed. And just imagine the forehead is completely smooth and the eyes are sinking to the back of the sockets. The jaw's relaxed and the tongue is away from the roof of the mouth. So the whole body is relaxed. No more cares, no more worry, just total relaxation. So if the mind starts to wander, try and let the thoughts pass. And whenever you can, bring the mind back to the breathing. Gentle belly breathing. Now bring the body awake, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, lengthen along the floor, squeezing all the muscles, tighten, hold on to the breath and squeeze, and release. Bring the knees into the chest. Gently roll from side to side. And carefully come on up to sit up. And we'll just finish with an inhale, palms up towards the ceiling. And an exhale, hands down towards the ground. And we're all done in my new place, in the tree house. Have a beautiful day.